Good evening and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Bachu.
I'm Joe Van Ravello with Sport.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed with your weather report.
Let's tell you what's making the news tonight.
In relation to the theft of arms and ammunition from the San Fernando Municipal Police Headquarters, the TTPS has thus far successfully recovered 38 firearms.
Suspects held, some guns recovered in major firearm heist. Police revealed WPC Anushka Eversley was strangled and beaten to death.
While authorities believe the assassination of 4 people, including a child in Morvant, was gang-related, the mother of one victim describes the killings as madness.
3 more people arrested as investigations continue into the mass disposal of bodies at a public cemetery.
In sport, TNT Red Force versus Leeward Islands Hurricanes evenly poised heading into day 3.
Can we see a shift in the weather pattern that could impact the months ahead? I've got the details coming up.
6 men are now in custody following the murder of acting corporal Anushka Eversley and for stealing a quantity of arms and ammunition from the San Fernando Municipal Police Station.
While police have recovered some of the stolen arms and ammunition, Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara is unable to confirm the number of items stolen from the station until an audit is completed. At a media briefing this afternoon, Commissioner Guevara revealed that the acting corporal died by strangulation, blunt force and sharp force injuries. This as he clarified that no gunshot wounds were found on Eversley's body. Guevara revealed that the suspects are between the ages of 16 and 33, with more arrests imminent, while 3 others who were previously detained have been released.
The TTPS has thus far successfully recovered 38 firearms, 1 MPX submachine gun, 1 shotgun, 1 revolver, and 35 pistols. Additionally, 929 rounds of ammunition have been retrieved, comprising 900 9mm, 10 rounds of .38 caliber, and 10 shotgun cartridges.
The commissioner indicated that an audit will be completed within the coming days. He sought to assure that this investigation remains his top priority in an effort to prevent any recurrence.
Immediate reforms are being introduced to strengthen firearms storage and ensure strict adherence to relevant policies and standing orders. Further interviews with municipal police colleagues of the deceased officer are ongoing as investigators seek to determine any and all possibilities of accomplices.
The commissioner also apologized for his comment, describing the incident as one-off following public backlash.
A 9-year-old, her uncle, and 2 others were ambushed and killed in a vehicle in Morvant last night in what police believe may be gang-related.
The incident has come as no surprise to some Morvant residents. Shane Superville visited the community for this story.
A day of family fun ended in tragedy when 4 people were gunned down in an ambush along the Lady Young Road, Morvant, on Sunday night. Among those killed was 9-year-old Jelena Armstrong, who together with her uncle Asim Armstrong, Chelsea Edwards and Obatei Philip were gunned down. Police said the group were on their way home after an outing at Harry's Water Park when gunmen in another car drove alongside them and opened fire. At the Forensic Science Center St. James, Asim Armstrong's mother was simply too distraught to speak.
And everybody knows madness. Madness it is.
Morvant resident Trevor Charles, who lives near the scene of the killing, recalled hearing the sound of gunfire from his home.
I was sitting right in the same chair right here when I heard this gunshot and thing firing. I don't need about 15 meters at the corner right there. When I sit and watching, I seen a little smoke coming up.
But as tragic as the incident was, Charles said it's just the latest bout of violence in a neighborhood that has dealt with similar attacks for years.
To be honest, it's nothing really kind of new because I actually saw 2 men get liquor based about a year ago, and I see bullets almost every night. Sometimes I went to the pool, sometimes, so it's really shocking as such,
Laventille East Morvant MP Christian Birchwood said he was deeply shaken by the incident, noting that such tragedy affects the entire constituency.
We have to be strong and we have to hold people accountable. And why I say this is because this happened in the middle of an SOE, a year-long SOE, I should say. Right, so one wouldn't expect something like this to happen.
Police believe the motive for the killings may be gang-related. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
Meanwhile, a Valencia family was torn apart by gunfire early this morning. One man is dead and his wife wounded after gunmen sprayed their home with bullets. Police say 49-year-old Sean Charles was shot and killed inside his Amon Lane home around 3:30 a.m. His wife, 40-year-old Clarissa James, was also hit but is now in stable condition at hospital.
Investigators believe the couple and their 2 children were asleep when they were attacked. Both Charles and James were found with gunshot wounds to the back. Officers seized items they say could help with the investigation.
The children were unhurt. The country's murder toll is currently 110 so far in 2026, down from 120 last year, with April's figures unchanged at 22. Opposition leader Penelope Beckles is criticizing Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar, accusing her of abdication of responsibility in the wake of a violent weekend.
In a statement today, Beckles says the Prime Minister is attempting to, quote, downplay and distance herself from the government's poor handling of a national crime crisis, end quote. Meanwhile, Seventh-day Adventist pastor and former Police Service Commission member Clive Dottin warns that the country is edging close to collapse if urgent action is not taken. Dottin, who says he personally knew Acting Corporal Anushka Eversley and had officiated at her brother's funeral, describes the situation as brutal, cruel and bizarre. Dottin was particularly emphatic on the issue of a curfew, arguing that the current state of emergency is incomplete without it.
I always believe that you give an extra punch to counter-punch the criminal element when a curfew is included in the state of emergency package.
Dottin also appealed to the authorities to take decisive steps to weed out rogue officers whom he described as Judases, noting that their presence will continue to weaken law enforcement operations. Now, President of the interreligious organization, Dr. Ellis Burris, also expressed concern about the developments. While he did not take a definitive position on a curfew, Dr. Burris indicated that the IRO would support measures taken by the government if they are in the country's best interest.
We expect that the government will walk in that direction where it will bring the best to the country or for people to change behavior. The time and the way to go to work and to leave work and to be off the street and be at home. The government thinks that it is the time to highlight that. We give the government all clearance to go forward with what they have to do to improve the condition of the country.
Yesterday, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar noted there was no need for a curfew following the killing of a municipal police officer.
Criminologist Dr. Randy C. Persad described Persad-Bissessar's statement as adequate, noting that it provided clarity and reassurance at a critical time.
Meanwhile, political leader of the Patriotic Front, Michaela Pandey, is accusing the Prime Minister of what she calls TikTok governance, urging her to put down the phone and focus on curbing crime.
In a strongly worded statement, Pandey said crime is winning and argued that citizens are not measuring safety by government posts, but rather by their daily reality. While acknowledging failures under the previous administration, Pandey said the current government has not delivered a clear anti-crime plan and is now calling for what she describes as real action, including intelligence-led policing, stronger border security, and better witness protection.
Well, in light of the worrying crime situation, today we asked, do you think the government needs to impose a curfew?
And this is what you had to tell us.
What will that do? I don't feel that will make much sense because it had the SC and it still have the crime going on. So I don't feel that'll come up with some kind of new solution or something.
Yeah, I admit, to me, I find I'm going to bring back the curfew. Yeah, because, you know, I say, things that's getting worse and worse. You know, but I'm not getting no better.
It don't make no sense because according to people, they're killing in the day and in the night. So that curfew is from 6 to 6. So I don't think it makes sense.
No, due to the fact that it will affect the working society.
No, I don't think curfew will stop the crime. What people need to know is the Bible, the Word of God, is what have the power to change life. And when life is changed, the world will change.
We live under too much curfew for the past few years. Let the people in position do the work. Everybody like they're on a holiday.
Well, still to come in the news, jet ski driver in Angelica Jogi's death released. Decision to proceed now rests with the DPP.
After riding a wave of working class support to victory, is the UNC keeping its promises 1 year later?
Can you do this?
Police have arrested 3 more people, including a woman, as investigations continue into the improper disposal of 56 bodies.
Officers have also fingerprinted the 6 adult remains in hopes of identifying them. Police Commissioner Alistair Guevara gave the update during a media briefing at the Police Administration building today. Around 10 a.m. on Saturday, police were called to the Kumuto Cemetery, where 50 infants and 6 adults were being buried. Commissioner Guevara says the investigation is moving quickly and promised to keep the country updated as more information comes to hand.
Officers of the Northern North Division Crime Scene Investigations Unit have fingerprinted the 6 adult bodies recovered as part of the process to verify identities. Additionally, 3 persons are currently in police custody assisting the investigations, which remain ongoing as statements are currently being recorded and further updates will be provided as more information becomes available.
CNC3 News understands that the mass burial was being done through the Friendly Societies, overseen by the Registrar of the Friendly Societies, which is an employee of the Labour Ministry.
When contacted, Labour Minister Leroy Batiste said he was unaware of that and requested a report which he's expected to receive tomorrow. The man arrested in connection with the death of 7-year-old Angelica Jogi has been released from police custody. The 32-year-old suspect was arrested at his Canaan home on April 9th, just hours after the jet ski he was operating crashed into Angelica and her family at Pigeon Point Beach. Police say the suspect fled the scene and was later found at his home. Senior Superintendent Rodil Kirk tells CNC3 News the investigation is almost complete and officers will approach the Director of Public Prosecution soon. When asked about whether police are monitoring the suspect, Kirk said their focus remains on finding the facts.
Our job is to gather evidence, as much evidence as we can. Now, I'm telling you, this matter is still in the investigative stage. We are near completion, and I told you that we will consult with the Director of Public Prosecution. Before the end of this week, it will be done. But every man is innocent until proved guilty. So we can't hold somebody in custody indefinitely.
The senior superintendent urged the population to have patience as officers work to bring the investigation to a close.
A grieving husband in Penal is tonight calling for justice after his wife was killed in a hit-and-run. Gokaran Deunanan says his life without his wife is unbearable. The couple married as teenagers and he's now left heartbroken after Saturday night's crash. Police say 60-year-old Afros Lalu Deunanan was walking home along Penal Rock Road when a white van speeding out of control struck her around 8 p.m. The vehicle dragged her before fleeing the scene. Deunanan was pronounced dead at the scene.
I'm very hurt. I'm very hurt. I can't help. Say nothing more, nothing bad. I can't get back my love. And nothing for me again. I don't want to do nothing wrong.
Police say the suspect, who also lives at Penal Rock Road, has surrendered and has given a statement.
Tonight, we continue our analysis and reflection on the government's first year in office. In this segment, we examine its treatment of workers and promises made in the UNC manifesto.
The UNC rode into government largely on the backs of the working class after some of the biggest unions in the country gave Kamla Persad-Bissessa their endorsement. But did it pay off? Akash Samaru has more.
I remember that day. It was when I realized the PNM's days may have been numbered, because the clarion call for them to be removed from office didn't only emanate from those in yellow. The PSA-powered Big Green Army was on board. The SWWTU and OWTU had shown their support. And echoing the events of 2010, the UNC again brokered an alliance with the labor movement, riding a wave of working-class support back into office. But 12 months later, are things better off for workers? Well, the answer to how well the government did in its first year for workers will be a subjective one.
We now have a settlement in relation to the 10%.
For example, if you're a member of the PSA or NUGFW, you'd be more inclined to feel a massive sense of relief, with the new government giving a 10% increase. A promise the UNC kept that has now cost the state a combined $6.4 billion in back pay, although most of that will not be paid in cash, and now adds $672 million extra to the annual wage bill.
We do not associate or affiliate with any political party, and if that rubs them the wrong way, so be it.
Now, Tuta may not feel it's winning yet. They may have gotten new salaries in March from their 5% agreement, but still no word on back pay, leading its president to wonder if this is because they did not stand with the UNC in the lead-up to the election. Crystal Ash said their biggest problem right now is its struggle to communicate with the government.
If you have a marriage and you're not communicating, obviously it will not go well.
And the teachers' union has graded the government's performance thus far.
I see that they would have done a lot of work and they're trying a lot of initiatives. So we're working at a C thus far.
Another union, which is not part of the coalition of interest, is also giving the government some grace for a few accomplishments, particularly the removal of the tax from private pensions. However, Communications Workers Union Secretary General Joanne Ojir said the loss of jobs cannot be overlooked. In a written statement, Ojir said the dismantling of CPEP and URP has resulted in serious hardship, and while the government has promised more sustainable jobs, she's questioning, where are those jobs today? And of course, a lot of nurses aren't happy. They say they're still working on 2013 salaries, and they too would like the PSA and NUGFW treatment. But Labour Relations Specialist Trevor Johnson is reminding us that the UNC and its allied unions drafted its own barometer for success as it pertains to a better quality of life for workers. That 20-point commitment plan is the workers' agenda. And he says the government has already ticked quite a few things off, such as the removal of the 4% wage increase cap, removing the Revenue Authority, seeking to amend key pieces of labor-related legislation, removal of taxes on private pensions, and has started what he called the complex process in restarting the Petrotrin refinery. And Labour Minister Leroy Batiste told CNC3 News that government is trying its utmost best to keep its word to workers, but it must be done in the context of funding and affordability.
You know, this government has not taken the easy route of putting its hands up in the air and saying, hey, we make promises, we're not keeping it, we can't keep it. We are pressing on. And this government is going out of its way to keep its word. Slowly but surely, and I want to just leave it at that.
Minister Batiste is proud of the gains made as it pertains to the workers' agenda and believes over the course of the government's term, more people will be in the winner's row. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
All right, thank you very much, Akash. Meanwhile, the race for the leadership of the PNM Tobago Council has entered its final week, with both former Minority Leader Kelvon Morris and former Tobago West MP Shamfa Kojo Lewis vying for the top post.
But even as the campaign intensifies ahead of the April 26 poll, both candidates are sounding a clear message: unity over division. Morris says PNM Tobago Council learned the lessons from the heated 2020 internals between Kelvin Charles and Tracy Davidson Celestine.
And therefore the tone of the competition and the conversations
is a bit less aggressive and confrontational as it was back then. You know, as I shared with you that experience of attending that meeting with one of Mrs. Kujo's meeting, and to her credit, she did allow everyone who was present to, you know, introduce themselves, etc.
Morris believes his plan, Roadmap to Victory 2030, will rejuvenate the party. Meanwhile, Kujo says her campaign is picking up steam as she continues hosting cottage meetings and engaging directly with members.
We just have to focus on touching base with all members and hearing what they have to say, and that's where I have been spending my time. That is what I know, that is what I'm accustomed to, and that is what works for me. Making the intimate connections with the people who matter most, the people on the ground.
Voting begins from 8 a.m. next week, Sunday, at 9 polling stations across Tobago.
Let's tell you what's still to come in the news tonight. EU ambassador backs closed-door talks to end Trinidad and Tobago's impasse with CARICOM.
Coming up next, how is the dry season setting in? I've got the details after the break.
Higher purchase, credit card, loan on top of loan. This feeling heavy.
When debt starts to weigh you down, it's time for a fresh start with fresh cash from NCB Merchant Bank. Their unsecured loan can consolidate your debts into one simple payment. No collateral needed.
One payment, one date, less stress?
Exactly. With lowered requirements, you can borrow up to $150,000 to clear your debt. Apply online and get the funds straight to your bank account. No branch visit needed. Fast and efficient. Apply today at ncbloanaccess.com.
Conditions apply.
With a bright future on your side, through every journey you will find what you've earned and accomplished. You now deserve to be. Embrace life with Guardian Life.
Ready to engineer your future? Join the Association of Professional Engineers of Trinidad and Tobago for the Technical Conference Tuesday, May 12th and Wednesday, 13th at the Hyatt Regency. Discover cutting-edge solutions shaping our Caribbean future. Hear from leading international, regional, and local experts with over 20 dynamic presentations. Engineers, students, professionals, this is your space. APET Technical Conference 2026. Sustainable, smart, and resilient.
Broken! Ever since I started wearing hands-free glide step Skechers Sleep-ins, my other shoes are useless. With Skechers Sleep-ins, I just step in and they're on. Try Skechers Sleep-ins.
Looking for a smart way to grow your savings? For just a limited time, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Credit Union is offering competitive fixed deposit rates of up to 4%. That's up to 4% guaranteed when you invest with PCU Fixed Deposit. Visit any of our locations in Barataria, Arima, San Fernando, or Tobago to get started today. For more details, visit policecreditunion.com or call us at 6124-PCU. PCU. Your future is safe with us.
Welcome back. As Trinidad and Tobago remains at odds with CARICOM over the reappointment of the Secretary General, the European Union's ambassador is weighing in, suggesting that sensitive disputes should be resolved through closed-door talks under strict confidentiality.
Therese Polo and Neil Romain have more.
New European Union Ambassador Cécile Tassin, a veteran diplomat with more than 3 decades of experience, is signaling a shift in the EU's 50-year relationship with Trinidad and Tobago. She assumed her first ambassadorial posting after presenting her credentials last October, but arrives at a time of strained relations between TNT and the wider CARICOM bloc. Tassin says at the EU, disagreements are typically resolved before they reach political leaders through quiet negotiations among technocrats and diplomats, an approach she says is critical to avoiding stalemate.
So normally when it reaches the heads of state, it has, of course, they can still, take decisions, but normally all the disagreements have been, really dealt with. Maybe maybe that's what is missing a bit to prepare well and solve the disagreements between it reaches the highest level.
She adds that the success of regional bodies like CARICOM hinges on the sanctity of the closed-door meeting.
Confidentiality is very important, yes.
And while she declined to comment on domestic political matters, she noted that campaign finance reform has yielded positive results in EU countries.
In general, it's always good to look at good examples in the world. And we do it in many sectors. We are open to provide, if requested, to provide technical assistance, to provide experts.
For Tassin, the EU's role is clear, positioning itself as a like-minded partner in an increasingly fractured global landscape. Looking ahead, she's pushing to revive formal political dialogue under the Samoa Agreement, noting that annual meetings have not been held in recent years. She hopes to bridge that gap before year's end, with a focus on digital transformation and trade. Next month, the EU marks 51 years with TNT, with a series of events including the European Film Festival, showcasing stories from across the bloc. As Europe Day approaches on May 9th, the message from the mission is one of conciliatory diplomacy, offering the EU's own experience with compromise as a model for its Caribbean partners. Doris Polo, CNC3 News.
It's now time for the weather forecast with Sigoni Mohammed, and we had some great weather this weekend. I could not help but notice the heat. It was extremely hot.
Yes, it was.
What else can we anticipate for the next few months for the remainder of the dry season?
Right. So at the start of this area, this year was forecast to have a wet, dry season, and it's already shaping up that way. But for the next 3 months or the next quarter that we're already in, let's take a look at what's happening there. Because when we see how conditions are shaping up for Trinidad and Tobago as we move through April to June, what you're seeing here is these reddish colors on our screen. Those are areas that show an increased chance for below normal rainfall, while the green areas covering most of the island is showing an increased chance for near normal rainfall totals. Average rainfall totals are likely to be near normal over most of TNT, and that's not all. Temperatures will run above usual as well, and you will feel it heating up too. We're expecting warmer days and even warmer nights and a few hot spells in between, especially as we head deeper into April and May. So what does that mean for you? With less rainfall, water levels could drop, and at the same time, bushfire risk increases. The good news, though, is that flooding concerns remain very low given the expected rainfall pattern. Now, however, is the time to save water, secure your tanks, and stay mindful out there, because the dry season is definitely settling in, but not for long, because rainy season usually comes into play next month as we enter May, approaching June. So we'll see how that goes. Only time will tell what the weather will bring. For now, what we do have in the short term are some moderate to fresh breezes, and that's pushing in some shallow pockets of moisture and cloudy patches over our area. What that means for us under really hazy conditions, because Saharan dust is still at play, is that we will maintain generally fair conditions, especially overnight, with temperatures dipping down to the mid-20s for both Trinidad and Tobago. But into tomorrow's forecast, extending through this week, we will see 1 or 2 spotty showers picking up across western portions of Trinidad, and some of these showers could become heavy. By the end of the week into the weekend, conditions do become a little bit wetter. Similar for Tobago, relatively sunny, hazy, slightly breezy in there by midweek, and then we see some quick passing showers in the forecast with temperatures staying steamy in the lower 30s. Now, if you're heading offshore, conditions do run smooth to moderate with waves approaching 2 meters in height, near 1 meter if you're within those sheltered or nearshore areas, and winds are coming out from a northeast to easterly direction. The best part of this forecast is that spring tide is no longer in effect and our seas are returning to normal, so it's good news for those of you heading offshore within the next couple of hours.
All right, looking forward to some of that rainfall next week.
Hopefully.
If we get it.
If we get it.
Thank you so much, Sigoni. We're still to come in the news. Mandate of Rural Development Company called into question after the majority of its projects were done in urban areas.
Life. What a wonderful journey we're on. Each stage is unique. And at Tata Life, we not only understand, but also appreciate that you'll have different needs at different times. So trust us to protect you and yours with our comprehensive range of financial planning solutions to ensure that you never, ever have to worry. To learn more, contact a Tata Life advisor or visit tatalife.co.tt today. For the many stages of your life, Tata Life, a member of the Ansa McCall Group.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. Your financial needs are sure to be met. At Police Credit Union, there's zero regrets. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile. So grow with us today. We can do this together. We can secure the future. We can secure the future.
Police Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Broken! Ever since I started wearing hands-free glide step Skechers Sleep-ins, my other shoes are useless. With Skechers Sleep-ins, I just step in and they're on. Try Skechers Sleep-ins.
Questions have been raised at a joint select committee about whether the Rural Development Company is drifting from its original mandate after data submitted by the agency showed that 209 of 302 projects were located in urban areas.
The figures for the period 2023 and April 2025 were drawn from the RDC submissions to the committee and come amid scrutiny over the absence of any formal definition of what constitutes rural communities.
Government Senator Anil Roberts challenged officials on whether this reflected an imbalance in resource allocation since the RDC's establishment in 2005 to support rural development.
Permanent Secretary Peter Mitchell said Cabinet expanded the RDC's mandate in 2018 to include all 39 constituencies and that no reversal has been made while a draft rural development policy remains unapproved.
An argument ensued after Roberts described PNM constituencies as urban and UNC rural, prompting objections from Lopino Bone MP Marvin Gonzalez, who accused him of introducing political considerations into the proceedings.
The committee also heard that the repurposing of $158 million from a $200 million loan facility contributed to curtailed projects, cash flow constraints, and delays in implementation.
It sort of curtailed the projects at the time. When the new board came in, they had a balance on that loan of just about $2 or $3 million, which they are using to pay staff at this time. We got from RDC a projection of their operating expenses to the end of this fiscal year. That was submitted to the Ministry of Finance, and it is under consideration.
Opposition MP Foster Cummings and Gonzalez noted that the RDC's expanded role was intended to strengthen project execution within municipal corporations and improve delivery of public infrastructure works.
It said the arrangement was designed to address long-standing delays in implementation across the system. RDC Chairman Rais Patel said the agency did not undertake any new projects over the past year, focusing instead on ongoing works and internal restructuring. The Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Bissessar toured the UE South Debe campus today as rehabilitation works get underway. In a statement, the United National Congress said the visit reaffirms the government's commitment to opening the facility for students across Trinidad and Tobago. STURI received updates from project teams on restoration works and said the campus represents a key investment in expanding access to tertiary education, especially in South Trinidad. At a post-cabinet briefing last month, Minister Saddam Hussein said the government will assume full responsibility for repairs, with PSAEL carrying out the works and classes expected to begin in September. The project follows long-standing infrastructure concerns, including plumbing issues identified by the UE. Days after a killing at the San Fernando Municipal Police Station and major gun theft, South business leader Kiran Singh agrees with the Prime Minister that a curfew is not the answer.
Andrea Perez-Sobers has details in tonight's Business Watch.
The weekend killing of Municipal Police Corporal Anushka Eversley inside a police station and the theft of more than 60 guns and thousands of rounds of ammunition continues to send shockwaves across the business sector. As talk of a possible curfew surfaced over the weekend, concerns are growing about its impact on productivity and essential services. President of the Greater San Fernando Area of Chamber and Commerce, Kiran Singh, says a nationwide curfew would place a heavy burden on businesses that rely on round-the-clock operations.
Maybe we could have some sort of curfew that is restricted to areas where crime is of higher proportions. But the fact that it happened in the San Fernando police station we're looking for solutions now. We really want to hear what the police has to say as how they're going to deal with this latest crime that will leave us in shock for many, many years to come.
Businesses opened as usual today, but the mood remains tense, with some owners now questioning how long they can continue to operate. One jewelry store owner says crime has pushed him to the brink and he plans to close his business by next year. And now for a look at today's energy and foreign exchange prices. Andrea Perez-Sobers, CNC3 Business Watch.
Okay, it is now time for sport with Jovan. Jovan, another disappointing end to a World Cup campaign, but both the coach and the players are asking for a chance.
That's right. The senior men's head coach Damian Briggs wants to continue in the job, while Victoria Swift calls for more support in order to give women's football a real chance. And Shaniqua Bascom causes a stir at the office in Jamaica. More when sport returns.
Kickstart your career in IT with the BSc Information Technology from the University of Bedfordshire, delivered at CTS College. The BSc Information Technology equips students for the latest jobs in the IT field. Benefit from online learning environment, dedicated program manager, WhatsApp groups with students and lecturers, shared drive with lecture notes, recordings, assignments, and more. Tutorial support for assignments. Email CTS College on study@ctscollege.com.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deba Shaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon. Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Welcome back. It's time for sport. Fast bowler Jaden Seals stole the spotlight on the second day of the Red Force's CWI Championship match against the Leewards at North Sound. Ian Wason tells us how the Red Force forced a slim innings lead on the second morning before Seals struck 6 times the second time of asking.
Resuming on 89 for 6, the Red Force progressed to 111 before skipper Joshua De Silva played on for 30, O'Shane Thomas with a breakthrough. Anderson Phillip followed Kelvin Pittman with a wicket, his first fifer on his Leeward Islands debut, 121 for 8. The wickets were coming 10 runs apart, and at 131, the 9th wicket fell Brian Charles for 2 scores level. The last wicket between Jaden Seals and Jed Gooley, a recent returnee from injury, put up a resistance, and after lunch, they stuck around long enough for Gooley to get to his 50, but they were finally dismissed for 175, a lead of 44 runs. The Leewards were intent on a better showing in the second innings, but suffered a double strike by Jaden Seals, who got rid of Kadeem Henry, and first innings hero Kareem Agor within 3 deliveries, 15 for 2. Red Force struck again with a score on 21, Seals with all 3 wickets, this time Casey Carty the victim. It was the Jaden Seals show, 4 wickets for Seals, and he was steamrolling the Leewards. It got worse for the home team, 43 for 5, Jaden Seals with a fifer, half the team down. But Mikhail Louis, who watched the horror from the next end, got an able partner in former captain Jamal Hamilton. Together they took the Leewards out of embarrassment and passed 100 with a good 82-run partnership. But it ended when, guess who? Jaden Seals with his 6th wicket. Leewards closed on 136 for 6, a lead of 92 heading into the 3rd day. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Exciting stuff there. Now, man of the match, Tariq Richards, carried his bat in a losing cause as South beat North in the Under-19 North-South Classic at the National Cricket Centre in Balmain, Couva last Friday. He scored an unbeaten 129, which included 17 fours, as North posted 262 in 49.2 overs. Zachariah Mohammed contributed a patient 51. Left-arm pacer Daniel Holder built on his season-long good form with 3 for 37 in 7.2 overs and was supported by Darren Danraj and Amrit Pittiman with 2 wickets each. Set 263 to win, South got runs from Ethan Ramcharan, who fell 2 runs short of 100, while Zion Phillip reached 52 to ensure they got to 263 for 5 to win by 5 wickets in 42.4 overs. Now, Best Motors Marching Patriots batsman Christian Calitran starred on the weekend when he scored an unbeaten 141 to lead his team to a 70-run win over 2-day champions Queen's Park on Sunday. Ian Wason has the roundup of the TTCB's 50 overs matches on Sunday and how they stand in the groups.
Batting at number 3, Kirsten Kalicharan hit 18 fours and 5 sixes in 123 balls against his former team Queen's Park, as Patriots scored 295 for 8 in 50 overs after they were sent in to bat in the TTCB 50-over tournament. In reply, the Parkites got to 225 all out in 43 overs. Joshua Davis scored 61 and Tian Webster added 41 as Patriots won by 70 runs. Kashri Singh was the best bowler for the Patriots with 4 for 62. In other matches, Jordan Warner and Leonardo Julian led Victoria to a commanding 9-wicket win over Fayal Under-19. Victoria won a bye on Saturday, but the Under-19s fell to their second loss. Jeremy Salazano scored 63 and Ewart Nicholson scored 53 not out in Power Gen's 156 6-run win over Prisons. Just like Victoria, Powergen were on a bye on Saturday, and Prisons also fell to their second loss. And Presal scored a 40-run win over Merry Boys on the strength of Akshay Prasad's 54 and Vishan Jagesa's 52, along with Nick Ramlal's 5 for 35. Presal head Group A with 2 wins. Central Sport, Yorkshire and Victoria have a match in hand. It's almost carbon copy in Group B, with Patriots heading that group with Powergen and Queen's Park on 3 points in the group of death. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Thanks, Ian. Now, even as the team recovers from Friday's disappointing end to the CONCACAF W qualifiers, its head coach is lauding the senior women's efforts throughout the campaign. Damian Briggs' team fell short with a 2-0 defeat against El Salvador. Now he, like other national coaches before him, is relishing a chance to keep working with his squad.
Overall, the players and the staff, I can't thank them enough for everything that they gave, over the last 5.5 months that I've been here, and it's been a joy working with the players, and we see what happens in the near future, and it would be great to just have some sort of continuity around working with some of the younger ones as well and seeing them through.
Defender Victoria Swift also expressed her pride in the group and had a message for the powers that be as she looked to the future.
We had our challenges during the campaign, but I believe that we, in spite of all the challenges that we faced, did a really good job. And I hope that going forward, that more is poured into the women's program to actually give us a proper chance to qualify for future World Cups.
Some strong sentiments there. Now, last evening, we reported on some strong performances at the N3A's Development Meet 5 at the Hazley Crawford Stadium. Tonight, we've got a few more. Carifta Games bronze medalist Imani Mills was the fastest in a field of 35 sprinters. The Memphis Pioneers athletes won her race in a time of 23.85 seconds to win the Women's Open 200 meters overall. She was ahead of Phoenix Athletics' Naomi Theodore, who was second with a time of 24.19. Kayla Charles of Abilene Wildcats was third overall, finishing her race in 24.32 seconds. Burnley's Samuel Stewart won the men's open event with a best overall time of 21.54 seconds to top a 6-day athlete field. Adrian Bailey of Dookies Athletics was second overall in 21.70 seconds. At the other end of the spectrum, Dave Messiah powered to a finish of 28.26 seconds to win his Masters race. Denora George of Redline International was first home in a 2-woman 1,500-meter open race. She crossed the line in 8 minutes, 14.89 seconds. Masters Athletics fixture Susanna Jofield of Trinidad and Tobago Roadrunners Club was second in 9 minutes, 5.57 seconds. 2025 Carifta triple jump champion Kenisha Shelbourne topped the women's open long jump with a distance of 5.96 meters to be 2026 heptathlon gold medalist Tanique Vincent into second. Shelbourne also won the women's triple jump with a best distance of 12.48. Now, Shanico Bascom makes a statement in Jamaica, and basketball engages youth in Grenada in sport around the region. We begin in athletics. Trinidad and Tobago's Shanika Bascom ran a new personal best in the women's 200 meters at Velocity Fest 19, beating a competitive field which featured Jamaican World Championships silver medalist Tina Clayton and her sister Tia. The Jamaican-based Optimum Track Club athlete started in lane 2 with a personal best of 23.36, but showed vast improvement at the Jamaican National Stadium. And a short while ago, even as Grenada celebrated another successful staging of this year's Carifta Games under showers of blessings.
Yeah, I might stay.
And shortly after a last love-up in the Games Village, a group of Grenadian national 3x3 basketballers, calling themselves the Sour Patch Kids, win a battle for the 5th annual Big Four knockout title. The kids went out into an early lead, but then found the going tough as their opponents, the Unruly Boys, used their athleticism to come within 2 points of the lead. Eventually, Sour Patch Kids, back from a recent tour of Guyana, emerged victorious 19-17. After the match, Twain Mitchell said despite their status as national athletes, it was important to show up for the Grenada Ministry of Sport and Youth-sponsored community event.
So sports is life. It's a way of poverty for the kids. It's keep you out of trouble and stuff like that. In the past, we have guys like Kevin that actually came back and gave back to the youths and stuff. He has his own basketball association and KCB. He works with the kids to give them opportunities what probably we didn't have in school. But it helps with therapy. It helps with a lot. Sports is life. All is life.
The tournament's founder, Cecil Francis Jr. of Presses Promotion, was also celebrating this year's growth.
This year, the turnout was pretty good. We've had some struggling years, but it keeps getting better every year. That's my whole thing. I just want to keep collaborating with other basketballers. Let's try to keep building and growing the platform for the youths and the seniors.
The 2026 edition featured 5 senior teams and 3 under-15 teams, and Francis Jr. wants to bring it to a court near you. Yes, sport is life. Now, tonight's high is a goal fitting of a final. With the South American Under-17 title on the line, Colombia brought out their best to stun the Albiceleste. Miguel Agames found his range, and how? A blast from distance, rocking the net to start the rout. A shock to the system as Colombia score 4 unanswered for the win, and to take tonight's CNC3 Sport High. Bit of Japness action to get the week started.
That is right on the tip of my tongue, I'm about to say it. Thank you so much, Jovan. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488 or visit our website to order.
Looking for the ultimate gaming experience? Welcome to Phase 22 Gaming Lounge, where gamers of all ages come to play, compete, and have fun. Dive into your favorite games on PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, or race on our high-tech racing rigs. And experience the thrill of VR with PlayStation and Meta Quest. Our lounge is safe, comfortable, and perfect for everyone. When you're done, check out the latest gaming systems, accessories, and even Samsung and Apple phones. Visit us on the 2nd floor of Gulf City Mall or call 786-2404 to book your gaming session today.
Regionally, ahead of the Bahamas May 12th general election, new financial disclosures are shedding light on the wealth of those seeking office.
Of the nominated candidates, 54 are officially millionaires. At the top of the list is Free National Movement candidate Rick Fox, with assets totaling nearly $470 million. Other heavyweights include Progressive Liberal Party candidate Sebastian Bastian and Chester Cooper, both reporting over $28 million. Independent Dr. Hubert Minnis is listed at $19 million. Party leaders are also in the mix. Prime Minister Philip Davis disclosed $4.5 million, while FNM leader Michael Pintard listed nearly $4 million. Apple CEO Tim Cook is stepping down after more than a decade leading the tech giant.
Cook is credited with leading Apple to become a $4 trillion company after taking over from Steve Jobs in 2011. In a statement, Cook said it has been the greatest privilege of his life to lead such an extraordinary company. Cook is credited with helping to make Apple a significant player beyond its iconic products into areas including entertainment and health. Notable is the Apple Watch, the first new product category that was launched under Cook's leadership. The company often touts the watch as a life-saving device. John Turners, Senior Vice President of Hardware Engineering, will take over as Chief Executive Officer in September.
Cook will move into the role of Executive Chairman of Apple's Board of Directors. From here, we take another short break. We'll be right back.
If you could see what the future holds, you'd see that while things change, you've still got it. You are strong, resilient, inspiring, and you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it because you were made for more. Discover how Alive multivitamins by Nature's Way help you age vibrantly.
Plumbing problems? Don't guess. Call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646. Proud to be serving Trinidad and Tobago for over 20 years. We do it all. Maintenance and repairs, new construction, sewer lines, inspection, drain cleaning, leak detection. We are licensed and insured. So call Plumbing Solutions at 628-4646.
Welcome back. For some children and even for some adults, finding their voice isn't always easy. But with a little imagination and a puppet, it can make all the difference.
Angelo Jedediah visited the Puppet Palace to learn more of the importance of puppetry as a learning tool and as a bridge to communication.
Can I talk to you about something? Of course, Abby. What's going on?
This may look like child's play, but these puppets are doing a lot more. Here at Puppet Palace, puppetry is used as a tool to shape young minds, something that business owner and educator Dorsha Charles realized when she first studied puppetry.
Awesome. Nice. When I did puppetry, I fell in love with how puppets allowed me to express myself without even saying a word. And so from there, I started to work with children one-on-one using puppets as a means of creative self-expression.
Charles says puppetry doesn't just boost creativity and imagination, it also gives children a safe space to work through grief and stress, especially those with low confidence, communication challenges, or sensory issues. And children can even make their own puppets, where parents and educators can learn a lot about them and what they are exposed to, without them saying a single word.
Quite common, very shocking, but you know, you would see children making spliffs in their puppets, right? Sometimes you'd see children putting on tattoos and tongue rings and so forth. It just shows you like what they have in their mind and what they're exposed to. And it's actually beneficial for them so that they can express it through their puppets as opposed to expressing it in real life.
But children aren't the only ones that love and benefit from puppetry.
There are different ways that companies can do team building activities, right? And if you share puppetry as well, they might feel like, that's like baby thing or children thing. But actually, when they do this, like, oh my gosh, this was nice. This was different.
And I was able to use my creativity to create my new sock friend, Samuel, who recently wrote SEA exams.
Have faith? Have faith in what?
Have faith and know that you did your best, so trust God to do the rest. Sometimes we would do puppet shows as well because we do that at Puppet Palace. So we do puppets on different themes, very, very important for the education system, like manners, being a buddy, not a bully, the love of reading, many different types of puppet show topics.
So in a world where you or your child may struggle to be heard, sometimes all it takes is a puppet to be that voice.
Samuel, is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah. How much am I getting paid for this? Because we both know who's the real star here.
And that's the power of puppetry. Angelo Jedediah, CNC3 News.
I like Angelo's puppet.
Yeah, such a cool initiative.
That's right. All right, it's time to recap our headlines. Suspects held, some guns recovered in major firearm heist. Police reveal WPC Anushka Eversley was strangled and beaten to death.
While authorities believe the assassination of 4 people, including a child in Morvant, was gang-related, the mother of one victim describes the killings as madness.
In sport, TT Red Force versus Leeward Islands Hurricanes evenly poised heading into day 3.
And in the weather, drier and warmer conditions expected from April to June with below normal rainfall and rising temperatures.
As we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates and exclusive content, and don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the 7 p.m. news here on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Bachu.
I'm Jovan Ravello.
And I'm Sigoni Mohammed. Have a good night.
You're watching CNC3.
It's time for Celebrity Family Feud. I smell romance and roses in the air. It's the Bachelorettes playing for Fostermore. But hoping to send these ladies home empty-handed are the Bachelors playing for Creative Vets. And now, the star of our show, Steve.